We are very fast coming to a close of 2020, a year that has been very extremely eventful. And you know what's going to happen in the next few weeks, in the next few days. What's going to happen is that people will start crafting their New Year resolutions, their vision, their mission, and so on. And, going back to the shelf and picking up whatever it is there and starting to dust them up and so on and so forth. And I want to start talking about that angle. I want to start addressing that kind of outlook in life in the next episodes in this series. Probably we'll do 6 or so episodes to cover the subject of vision. And I want us to start discussing that because I do believe that it is important for us to delve into this. I know it's theory, but I want to delve into the practical aspects of vision. Why is vision important and how do we actualize that vision? How do we make it a reality in this world and in this day and in this age, even given the pandemic going on, given the situations going on? What do we do with our vision? Stay tuned.
Welcome to the Life Signatures podcast with Lawrence Namale. Lawrence is a life coach, author, and keynote speaker who loves to tackle different topics on purpose, productivity, and resilience. His mission in life is to awaken all your boundless possibilities available in you. Life Signatures podcast is dedicated to bring to reality every single person who knows that deep down in their gut, there's got to be more to life than this. And now, here is your host, Lawrence Namale.
I am so sure that this word vision is so cliche, but you can be fooled to think that it's so cliche, it's so used that it doesn't mean anything. But I can tell you something, that of the few key words in the personal motivation industry, in the human potential industry, of the few key words that you can pick up and you can use just about anyone, the word is vision. And vision is a powerful word that every individual does need it. Every time you see countries, ministers of finance reading the budget, maybe media in the country and so on, or the president of the country gives a State of the Union address, or the state of the country, the state of the whatever it is, the state of the republic address and so on, they talk about vision. They go back and start talking about the vision of that particular country. A country rises and falls to the degree of the clarity of the vision. The same thing applies to the individual, the same thing applies to an institution, the same thing applies to a family. If there is no vision anywhere, in fact the Bible says where there is no vision, people cast off restraint, people perish, people get lost. I mean, why would you live without a vision, man? Why would you do things circumspect and whatever? There is no vision, so why would you care? Where there is no vision, the people perish. And I am, anytime I'm speaking in this podcast, I normally go back to the individual. I don't talk to corporates. I don't talk to multitudes of people. I talk to one person at a time. I talk to an individual from the individual level. That there is a need for the individual to have a vision. So you find groups of people, you find guys coming up together and maybe bashing that finance minister who has read the budget, and bashing up the president who has read the State of the Union or the State of the Republic, whatever it is. And they say, oh, this should be done like this, that's supposed to be like this, this shouldn't happen. And yet the family vision has not even been written. And yet the individual vision has not even been crafted. And we are busy nitpicking someone else's vision, nitpicking the country's vision, nitpicking the finance minister's vision, nitpicking maybe the head of department vision. We are so argumentative about this. But when you look at our own individual lives, we are lacking. In fact, by the way, If you stop people on the streets, 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds, whatever, and ask them, what is your vision? I'm telling you, you'll be shocked. A host do not know what their vision is. 80% and above have no clue what the vision is. Many people will tell you, I want to make it in life, whatever that looks like. They don't even know. Many people will tell you that, I want to build a house, I want to have a family of my own, I want to travel the world, I want to be happy. That's the most common answer you're going to get. I want to be happy, I just want to be happy. That's not a vision. See, a vision is something that is unique, something that is cutting edge, something that propels you and connects to the potential that has been put inside of you, something that speaks to the impact you're going to create in the world, something that speaks to the things that you're going to create, the things that you're going to bring to the fore, to the best of your capacity, to the best of your ability. That is what a vision is all about. It's the best possible outcome of anything, the best possible outcome of the individual. Your best possible outcome is your vision. It is not just to pay bills and so on. So we need to come to that level. And I know when I speak like this, I need to be careful. Not everyone understands what vision is. I remember the first time I interacted with this letter, this word, this keyword vision, was when I started attending church back in Nairobi. And the pastor in that particular church used to, nearly every Sunday that I would attend, he used to scream at us, what is your vision? What is your vision? God needs you to have a vision. What is your vision? You can tell me you have powers to do this, powers to do that, powers to do that, but I'm going to ask you one question. What is your vision? And every time you would speak, I would squirm from one side to another, not knowing what exactly my vision is. I knew I needed one, and I knew I did not have one, and I knew I was lacking. Okay, and it is possible, by the way, it is possible to live years on end without having a vision. Very many people do that. It is possible. But the question is, will we fulfill our biggest potential without a vision? The question is, will we do the best of our capacity without a vision? The question is, will we be the best possible versions of ourselves without a vision? The answer is no. The Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. The people cast off restraint. My people perish for lack of vision, for lack of knowledge. Where you lack your own individual vision, your own personal vision, maybe I should start talking about how to come up with that vision at some point in time. But my point is, what I'm addressing today is maybe just assuming that the vision is there. What do we do with a vision? And I promise you, I'm going to come back to do another series where we'll discuss how you can create your own personal vision. And so I sat down for some time. 12 years later, after this pastor was saying, what is your vision, and was, trying to tell us to write down whatever the vision is, the Bible actually tells us in the book of Habakkuk, write the vision down and make it plain, so that whoever sees runs with it. Even if that vision tarries, wait for it, it shall come good, it shall come to pass. So the vision is important, it has to be written down and so on. So I sat down, and having not known what my vision in life is, and having squirmed from one side to another, it took long simply because I lacked guidance. And I clearly understand that people need guidance in order to craft what their visions in life is. And because the reason as to why people need guidance is because they do not have confidence. See, the vision is there already, I can tell you. The purpose is there already. But people do not have the confidence enough to lean into it. And another reason is because people have been schooled not to lean onto their vision. People have been schooled to lean onto their academic papers. And when they do not have academic papers, they even cast away their vision, they cast away their restraint. And so you find that the guys who have academic papers also do not even have a vision. So later on, when I became a life coach, it was easy for me to craft my vision. I discovered that it's easy for me to lean into my vision and follow it. It is years down the line that I am still leaning into this vision. Every time I exist in this life, from that moment on up to today, every time I do something that is outside of my vision, outside of my mission, I feel out of place. I feel out of place. And so I'm going to discuss with us, yes, once you've crafted your vision, is that all there is? See, we can preach the message of vision until we get green in the face. But we need to understand that it is not all there is. The vision acquisition is like opening the door into the house. There are very many rooms in that particular house that you've got to go and experience them. There are very many adventures that you've got to go through. What the vision provides is light in the darkness of that house. It's like flipping on the switch in that house. But without the vision, you're trying to do life in that house with no candles, with no lighting, and you're trying to cook a meal with no light. You're trying to do it in the dark. But once the vision has been switched on, once the light has been switched on, it is possible to see. So the light comes into your life when you do have vision. And then you get direction, you get urgency to follow through with that particular vision all the while until it is accomplished. And now it is easy for you to know that I am on track. It is easy for you to know that I am supposed to be doing A, B, C, and D. Yes, I'm supposed to put food on the table. I'm supposed to pay my bills. I'm supposed to put clothes on my back. I'm supposed to pay school fees and so on and so forth. But you also know, in the grand scheme of things, I was fashioned. I was created to do this. Or I chose to do this particular thing. I chose to go this direction. That's a vision. That's some semblance of a vision. I chose to see the best possible outcome, the end game of my life. That's the vision. But we live this life rearranging things in the dark, using that analogy, rearranging things in the dark of the room, and hitting our legs, our feet on surfaces and so on and so forth, making a mess out of things, and we still do make it. Can you believe it? We still do make it. There's something else that is very powerful, which is action. And I believe that we are so good at taking action, right? We are so good at doing things, but we're not so good at having a vision. We are so good at working hard, but we're not so good at being people who work smart. And working smart basically is getting in line with the vision of your life first. It is like, instead of having the ABCs of life, you having the CBAs of life, where C stands for clarity of your awareness, what your vision in life is, and B is for belief, leaning into that vision, and then the A is for the action. We are so good at taking action. All over the place. You stand at the streets, you will see people walking helter-skelter all over the place, trying to do this, trying to do that, and it is repeated for years on end. You ask someone at the end of the day, what is it all about? Today I saw a pastor asking a question on Facebook. What are you all about? What are you all about? That is now the vision. We need to craft what we are all about. We need to clarify what we are all about. But I'm saying in this episode that once you've clarified what you're all about, that's not just about it. You'll discover that there's much more that needs to be done. So in this series, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, after you've discovered what your vision is, what do you need to do to make it a reality? The action, the part of the action. Remember, there's a CBA, there's the clarity, there's a belief, and then there is action. That's what I want us to talk about in these episodes, in this series. And then maybe immediately after this series, we're going to talk about how to craft your own vision. Stay tuned and bye-bye. A special shout out to my mentor Jeffrey Howard of Visionary Business University, found at mastermindmentor.com, who has graciously provided me with the soundtrack and the introductory track to this podcast. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you for listening to Life Signatures Radio. If you enjoyed today's show, subscribe to Life Signatures Radio on iTunes, Stitcher, or visit our website at lifesignatures.libsyn.com. Life Signatures Radio, fresh, clean, and inspiring.